Hello viewers, MeInTeam here. Welcome to a Starcraft 2 match. I will be the blue Protoss, my opponent will be the red Zerg Honda. So now I'm going up against vehicles, but I didn't know that Zerg built vehicles. Anyway, double probe scout. Yes, this is quite painful on the income, and I will be behind because of it. But I want to find him quickly. Honda was actually playing random, so I don't know what race he is. And I want to proxy one gate him, but don't see anything. I think I'm going to send just one probe up to proxy him, and the other one's going to go back in mine. That way I don't fall too far behind the harvesters. But I'm already behind because it took me a while to get this pylon up, so I'm actually just going to put this pylon down now. That way I have some mineral spending. He will get ahead of me, but he's going to pull drones here. And yes, he kind of has to, but this will change the income. He's actually running 5 drones there, so he only has 8 on the line. And I actually have 9 on the line with more on the way, so I have thrown him off a little bit here. He is going to lose at least some mining time trying to break this. And I'm just going to run around. try to get my gateway up, but he saw this, and 5 drones will beat this. I should probably have placed this just a little bit more over. If I had done so, he would have had trouble killing it. And this is again, or like maybe put it here, something like that. I really need to work on the pylon placement for these proxies, because I just want to get the early zealot pressure out. And when it's like this, he can actually attack the pylon and kill it in a timely fashion. Once again, a mistake. Why did I put this here? Why did I not put it here? If I put it here, he would have only been able to attack it with 2 or 3 drones again. That would have given me time. But as it stands, I don't. So, whatever. I am chrono boosting out some probes. I have spare chrono boosts after all, and I might as well probe up while my opponent tries to deal with the proxy. Now, oddly enough, this doesn't put me as far behind as I would have expected, just because he has to pull so many units to deal with it. And yeah, spawning pool only going up now. He's actually got very few guys on the line. Not sure what's up with that. I guess he pulled more. Oh, okay. He was nervous that I was going to gazelle it out. I guess he didn't have enough confidence in his lings, or he just didn't feel like he could get lings in time before I would start doing damage and make a nuisance of myself. So he pulls lots of drones, screws up my chrono boosted zealot, and if I'd put this here, he would not have been able to get that surround, and I would have been much more effective on the harass. Nevertheless, we've evened up on the harvester count, and everybody's mining, so I'm just, a good 200 minerals behind. If I'd done that a little bit better, I would not be a full 200 minerals behind. I would have a zealot out, and he would be forced to build lings, which he's doing anyway. But he'd be forced to build lings, and I'd probably have a zealot here, which means he would have to wait until his queen was up to mine some of these mineral patches, and I could harass him like crazy, kill some lings. It would have been a mess. But I failed. I screwed that one up, so whatever. But it's a little too early to give up. I'm not that far behind. I'm going to be 400 to 50, so 350 minerals behind. Not the best, but he did lose a lot of mining time there, so it's not as bad as it looks. And I do have more harvesters, which kind of screws up for the Zerg. And what this did do is it also delayed his expansion. Now we're talking about a 5-minute second base instead of 15 hatch or something. So that helps too. Certainly throws people off their game, and that will help even if they because people are used to their build orders, and when you do this, they can't use their build orders any longer. I'm getting a zealot out. I do not want a ling run by to screw my probes. Forge to show defense, and in case he does go roaches really early, I'm going to need it to stay alive. Obviously a cyber core. Should have built the cyber core a little bit sooner. I am getting both gases. I have 24 probes, which is decent saturation, and I'm continuing to get it more. And yeah, he's going to poke up here with some lings. Really not a whole lot he can do to one zealot with 4 lings with this positioning. Standard anti-Zerg wall off, and because of the earlier pressure, he didn't really come after me. So he's got 2 queens out. He's going to get the Roach Warren. Pretty standard play considering the early zealot pressure, and pretty standard play in general for Zerg versus Protoss, and something I dislike. I hate mass Roach. But that's why I've changed up my play against Zerg a little bit. We are getting a Stargate again, yes. Dark cheese rays, but this time we are controlling them differently than I used to. These aren't Bronze League Void Rays, they're like Silver League Void Rays. You'll see, it's awesome sauce. So, he's got his second up, but he's actually only now pulling even on the Harvesters, so a lot of damage from that early proxy, regardless of my lack of killing things. But I could have done so much more damage. A little late on the gas, kind of awkward saturation here. Not sure what he's doing, but that's okay. Getting more drones now. He is starting to pull ahead in harvesters. If I had an expo, that would be the case. But yeah, we're just going to keep chronoing Stargates. Zealot, Zealot. Notice my gas is accruing, and this actually occurs to me. And I'm going to build some sentries, yes. After the previous game, well, not the previous game, but the game against Bean, where I was able to force field decently, I started deciding, you know what, I'm just going to bite the bullet and act like everyone else gets sentries and force field and whatever. Pretty effective. Not exactly hard to force field. And people say force fields are hard. They're not that hard. They're just not. You don't need a ton of APM to place them well. You just need a little bit of a sense of timing and prediction on how your opponents are going to move. And if you have that, you can force field something nasty, even with a few sentries. You can be frugal with sentries and still be effective like that. A little bit of a misplay here. I don't have enough minerals, so I'm wasting a chrono boost. I do have 2 voids out already, and my opponent is not droning up. He has 9 roaches, and they are coming for me. So he wants to punish my early pressure with one of these roachling all-ins. He does know that I didn't expand. I don't know what his thinking here is. I don't know why he thinks he can break this. Maybe he has had some success with it in the past. I do not know. He is ahead on supply, but one of the problems here is that roaches cannot shoot air. I have a sentry out. He knows I have a sentry out, and I only used one force field. So here we go. Army spending. He's ahead of me in minerals, behind me in gas. Pretty even, and ahead on harvesters. So, oh, screwed. That's no good. Now you can't even micro the roaches against the void rays. I probably should have pulled my zealots back, but I wanted to kill these roaches quickly. And there you go. A couple dead roaches, and that's going to hurt. Any units lost advantage he have just disappeared, and he's going to be forced to pull back. He will start training queens, and he's a lot of larvae, man. What are you doing? I still get some weird opponents. I tell you what, that's just strange to get that much larva. But okay, throw a miss rally on the roach. Excellent, I'll take that. I will take that any day. And yeah, just 2 sentries, but we're causing grief. Kill an overlord. Also very nice. Not sure why he's engaging here. Yeah, he's gonna pull back. And that's a lot of queens, man. That is rough. And those queens are going to be problematic. So here again, my opponent is actually behind me on the army spending, so that's not too bad. Come on, no, what are you doing with the void ray? No! Queens are actually really good against air. Like, they're really good. The transfuse, yeah, I'm forced to pull back here. This is rough. Rough stuff. He's gonna kill another void ray. Now here, he's a little bit more out of position. I could probably take this queen, because these guys are down here and cannot help. I'm gonna have to micro this guy, void out of the way, but that's fine. Should have focused on this queen continually since it's the one who has the transfuse available, but he doesn't get the transfuse off, so I will kill that queen. I guess he was trying to micro to kill the void. Pretty good trade for him, actually, considering. And I let the queen go. What are you doing? But man, his macro has slipped on this with all this pressure, and he's going to try to counter me actually with a push this direction. No, I'm still trying to get more void rays out and kind of harassing his base here. He's starting to put up spore crawlers, so that's not good for me. Spore. Not really a good situation to be in for me, except for that I've spent my money better than him anyway, although I'm starting to slip badly on macro as well. He does have fewer drones now. He actually built that many spores. And yeah, he's attacking my void rays with queens, but oh no, don't transfuse. No, he transfused. I will get the kill though. Micro. Fail. Suckage all around. I will be able to take out the spore thanks to some zealot pressure. That's good. And these zealots will obviously cause trouble for the spores up here. That's also good for me. Meanwhile, down here, the roaches have run into my base. However, I do have some void rays down here to clean these roaches up. So it's not quite a base race. It's more of a trade your economy race. and I'm just going to get my probes out of there. Since I managed to accrue so much money like an idiot, I decided to go ahead and spend it with some of my probes, and otherwise I'm just going to all in with my probes at this point. More roaches and lings. He's really going for blood here, and I guess he feels safe with these spore crawlers, although they are not covering well. Killing that stuff, not too bad. And yeah, one queen is not going to beat two void rays, especially since they've had a little bit of charge. This is actually a problem for him, and he's going to lose this queen. These lings aren't going to get anything done. Now here, I decide to break off. I'm going to build a nexus here and here, in case this turns into a base race. But really it can't, because I have void rays defensively. Meanwhile up here, I'm going to continue my harass with the void. And yeah, here I see a spore crawler uprooted. I'm just going to focus it. Man, spore crawlers root so fast now. Could you imagine if that took double the time? But okay, whatever. And yeah, here's another spore crawler rooting. Very annoying. I'm going to focus fire my probes on it. Get them, probes. And yeah, this is just ridiculous. He's rooting more and more of these. I'm going to lose that void ray. No! Get away! Get away! No! So now I'm in trouble. I will get this spore crawler with the probes, so that's kind of funny. No! No! Attack the queen! No! No! Attack the queen! Ah, it sucks. But what can you do? Queen's ruining my day. Now, like, I have no income at all now. I do have, like, nothing here. I have one probe here. It's the same probe I sent out. And nothing here, although my shields are regenerating at least. Unpowered forge. Really, this game is won or lost on these 3 void rays right here. So I've got to make something happen with them. Yeah, he's just going to kill my probes, which I'm harassing him with. Quite fun. He is trying to take his expo again. He's going to attack me with his queen, but I just want to charge my rays on his extractor. Cheese rays FTW. And now I see this rooting and 3 void rays, some of them charged. It's going to be hard to protect that, and because I have the charge and he does not have the transfuse, he's not going to do much. He's going to lose his queen, and now this is problems because he doesn't have any spores covering these, and I'm going to get a lot of kills. Probably should be microing his drones out. This expo is almost done anyway, so he should get them out of there, and that's what he does. Still a lot of unspent larvae. I guess he doesn't want to build anything that cannot attack air. And yeah, with my next void ray, I had some leftover money, so I did train a void ray. I'm going to take out these spores before he can do anything with them. Take some damage, but not too bad. And I figured he couldn't have too much over here, considering the damage that I've already dealt. So I'm just going to sit in this base, clear out his tech, try to keep my void rays alive, give them a chance to regenerate their shields, which is always handy. And he's just going to keep making drones. I guess to make more spore crawlers, but whatever. At this point, I'm starting to train more probes. Yes, off my one probe here, I am going to start remacroing, and you can see I have waypointed each of my nexi to their mineral lines, and I'm going to remacro. So I'm up to 2 probes. My opponent down to 8 drones now. Quite awesome for 17 minutes into the game. Definitely awesome. This is what you call a macro game. My opponent is now up 8 on the harvester count on me here at the 18-minute mark. So as long as they don't talk about the absolute values, we're good. We're good. And we got a spore crawler nonsense going on. I decided to pick off some overlords. That's always good. Force him to spend more larvae on the overlords than he would like to spend. And again, he decides to root his spore crawler there, and I catch this. This is the best time to take these on, because they cannot do much damage while rooting. Yes, they root faster, but you can still screw them up. Now I'm going to hold position here, force some drones away. Yeah, really just make a nuisance of myself. He doesn't have any queens, so that's fine. Getting more and more probes. We're catching up in the macro game now, and I have 3 bases, man. 3 bases. Look at that. I expanded. You guys wanted me to expand. I expanded. I took 2 bases. I double expanded, viewers. Awesome. And yeah, once again, just harass here. And he's going to root, so yeah, just take it out while it's rooting. And then pull back. Abuse our shield regen. Look at that shield regen, man. Protoss needs to use that shield regen in situations like this best it can. And this is just terrible because he's trying to root deep down here. He has to root deep down here though, or I'm going to pick off the hatch. But he gives up. He realizes that he is not going to be able to build defenses in time. And GG's out of the game. Fun one for me, definitely. Thumbs up if you like the video. The Mean Team signing off. Macro!